Well, good afternoon and welcome to Twerton Park for this National League South clash between Bath City and Braintree Town. My name is Andrew Kerslake and alongside me I have Michael Powell. Good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Well, Braintree Town this afternoon, a record pretty much the same as City, 1-1, one draw, one lost, although a slightly better goal difference. Michael, this should be a pretty even contest this afternoon, shouldn't it?
Based on their results, yes. As you said, one win, one draw, one defeat each. I think the slight difference to that, Braintree's 4 points have all come at home, where you need to pick up points. City's in the past week have all come on the road. So I think that'll give Bath City confidence that they can go into today and win this game, returning to Twerton Park. But yeah, I certainly think it will be a close game, and I don't think either side are going to blow the opposition away.
Michael, while we're waiting for the teams to emerge, why don't you run through the two lineups for us?
I can do exactly that, Andrew. Both sides unchanged from their fixtures on Tuesday night, so that's nice and helpful for us, isn't it? But for Bath City, that means it's Joe Wright in goal, a back four of Joe Rains, Jordan Dyer, captain Kieran Parcell and Dan Greenslade. A midfield three of Dan Hayfield, Chris Lines and Luke Spokes, and a front three of Alex Fletcher, Cody Cook and Scott Wilson. On the bench this afternoon for Bath City, Jack Patton, Tom Smith, Elliot Freer, Ryan Clark and Zach Bell. On for Braintree Town, I think they're also going to be 4-3-3, so it's Jack Sims in goal, a back four of Barris Altentop, John White the captain, Kyron Clements and Kyron Farrell. A midfield three of Alfie Payne, Joe Muscat and Alfie Matthews, and a front three of Aaron Blair, Levi Amanchi and Chris Regis. On the bench for Braintree Town, Ben Folkes, Alfie Marigliani, Willie Clemens, Sami Bissadi and Ezra Ika Bouassi. As you might hear behind us over the tie in the crowd, the two teams are coming out here at Twerton Park.
Feels such a change, doesn't it? Just looking down that lineup, Bath City unchanged, not only in terms of the 1 to 11 out on the pitch, but also in terms of the substitutes. And when you think back over the last couple of seasons, what with COVID and illnesses and loan players going back, you know, it really feels as if for the first time in a long time there's some real stability there, doesn't it?
So it will be Braintree Town kicking down the slope towards the Bath end in the first half, and Bath City kicking up the slope to the Bristol end.
Well, I'm going to hand over to Michael now for our first half commentary. We're just seconds away from kickoff here at Bath City versus Braintree Town.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Both of these sides coming into this one 4 points from the last two games. Form and confidence high in both, and it will be the visitors in their away turquoisey blue strip to get us underway. And we are underway here this afternoon at Twerton Park. White goes for a long diagonal, Rains underneath it. Hooked forward on the halfway line by Muscat. And Rains puts it out of play for Braintree Town throw. Picked up by Regis. Plays it forward. Parcell slightly misjudges it. Comes through to Matthews. Plays it square to Payne, about 25 yards out. Goes for a shot, which Wright is forced to tip over the crossbar. Yeah,
plenty of sting in that. Straight at him, but rather than attempt to catch it, he just flicked it up and over the crossbar.
Everyone inside the 6-yard box. It's a crowded bit of grass as Payne, it's in, it's flat again, it's pretty poor. Cook can clear at the front post. Comes to Fletch, it's a heavy touch though. Matthews picks it up, drives it in, and it's well defended in there by Jordan Dyer. Change of take, here comes Farrell. This one is deeper. It's headed away, I think it was actually by Manchi, back to the corner taker. Here's it back to Matthews, drives in across first time. It ricochets around a little bit in the Bath City area. And it's going to be a free kick to Bath City, as White is adjudged to have caught Cook. Drops to Cook, and he's it back to Dyer in the centre circle. Back to Rains on the Bath City right. Forward to Fletcher. And plays it infield to Hayfield in a bit of space. Cross to Greenslade on the Bath City left. Roman's working it from right to left onto Wilson. And we have a chance to take on as much as he does to the byline. Pulls back across. White with an excellent clearance. And it's volleyed forward by Regis. Lines though picks up the loose ball. Now Rains with it about 10 yards inside the Braintree half. Forward for Fletcher. And he's it back to Spokes. And then Plays it across for Greenslade, who does get there. Forward for Wilson. Get there ahead of 𝗛𝗚𝗏𝗏. Still with Wilson, out 20 yards out. Tries to play a reverse ball, but weren't quite on the same wavelength. Now Lines clips it out to Greenslade on the Bath City left, about 10 yards inside the Braintree Town half. Short to Spokes. He then drives out to the right, looking for Fletcher, who is onside. Will get to the loose ball inside the area, and it's good back tracking by Blair to put it behind for a corner kick. In fact, he doesn't. He goes short along the ground, and it's easily cleared by the Braintree Town defence. Greenslade picks it up, but there's a heavy touch, and Braintree have a break on here. It's 4-on-1 if they play this right. It's into Blair, 25 yards out. Cuts back, tries to bend it. Excellent block by Joe Rains, and Braintree Town really did not make the most of that opportunity. Now Bath City can look to come the other way, but it's good defending by Clements to put it out of play for a throw-in. Flicks it on, comes to Blair. Rains gets a head in. Loose ball is picked up and then driven goalwards by Muscat. Then played out to Regis on the right, 20 yards out. He's got Matthews making an overlapping run, uses him, crosses in low, and it's turned in at the far post by 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's a brilliantly worked goal by Braintree Town, and they take the lead 20 minutes in at 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Park. Levi 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the goal scorer.
I think Jerry Gill's not going to be very happy with that. That ball out onto the right-hand side, easily played in with pinpoint accuracy, and all 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had to do was to pile into it at the far post and bundle it over the line. And City find themselves behind, and you have to say, on the balance of play so far, probably deserved.
Eventually, loose ball falls to Hayfield on the halfway line. Back to Greenslade. Back to Lines. Plays it out to Rains on the halfway line. And plays one over the top, looking for the run of Hayfield. The ball somewhat holds up. Comes to Hayfield, though, 20 yards out. Back to Spokes inside the area. Still with Spokes. And his shot has the sting taken out of it by 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Oxford City enjoying their afternoon. They're 3-0 up at home to Concord Rangers. And my old friend, 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is on the score sheet again. There's Braintree coming forward again here at 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Park. It's with Blair on the edge of the area. Lays it back to Matthews. Shot is blocked by Parcell to Fletcher. Back to Greenslade. Thinks about the cross. Instead goes back to Lines. He then with a nice reverse pass to Greenslade in space. Cross is blocked by Clements. Back to Lines, midway inside the Braintree half. Looking for a long diagonal for Rains. Blair gets back and defends well, but loose ball dropped to Rains. Hooks in across, but can only hook it behind for a goal kick. There's Wilson dropping deep to try and pick up the ball, has it. Square to Lines, who's dropped into that deep position. To Dyer on the halfway line. On to Rains, a bit of space. Got Fletcher ahead of him. Cuts inside, still with Rains. Then plays it forward, looking for Hayfield. And it's brilliantly blocked by the covering Joe Muscat behind for a corner kick.
Lovely run there by Rains.
Parcell with it on the halfway line. Forward to Wilson. Looking for movement ahead of him, tries to chip it over the top for Fletcher, but that's too close to the keeper, and Sims will come out to gather ahead of the Bath City striker.
Yeah, Wilson playing fairly deep this afternoon, coming back in and getting the ball and looking for that flick on to Cook or Fletcher. Brady getting a little restless at the time it takes for Braintree to move the ball downfield.
Well, there is a limit on how long the goalkeeper can have it in his hands, and I think
that's
if it's
been well exceeded.
Yes, by Jack Sims. Still has it on the left now, Farrell. Plays it over the top, looking for the run of Blair. Rains gets a foot in. Dyer can clear upfield. Cook battling away. Does really well, then looks to slip it through to Wilson, but the offside flag is up, so the referee will pull it back for a free kick. It's Hayfield. Looks like he's going to play this free kick from deep into the area. Moves to the far side. It's headed away by 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now back to Hayfield, midway inside the Braintree half. Turns away from Matthews. Now with Lines, chips it into the area. It comes through to Cook, can't quite bring it under control, and White can clear, followed by Blair. Forward to Matthews. Has a bit of a off-the-ball incident with Greenslade. Referee lets play go on there. Now with Fletcher. Got Rains outside him, cuts inside. Looks to bend across for Wilson, but the offside flag is up. The ball's in the net, but it's not going to count. Linesman's flag up against Scott Wilson to deny Bath City.
Well, I can't quite work out why Sims is racing off his line. Matthews fell over Greenslade earlier on, down in the pitch, but making something of a meal of it. And Braintree protesting the referee should have pulled play back.
Can only give possession back to Farrell. Fletcher does well to get back at him though. Now forward for Wilson in space on the right-hand side. Up towards the edge of the area. Drives in a low cross. It's well defended by White. Clears upfield. Matthews brings it down. Rains does well to get a foot in. Bath City win it back. Lines the ball out to Fletcher on the left-hand side. Chance to maybe take on Altintop. Still with Fletcher. Drives in a low cross. White is there to block it. Fletcher helps it back to Spokes. Now Greenslade, 25 yards out on the left. Brings it inside, still Greenslade going forward. Square to Hayfield, chance for a shot. Shot is very well blocked by Payne. Matthews does well to bring it down, overruns it into Rains. Hayfield dinks the ball over the top, but ball has too much on it and Sims will be able to gather.
Yeah, again, City, good pressure, get it going forward, but crosses into the box, easily taken out by the away side.
The Spokes now in the centre circle, drops deep. Parcell and Greenslade outside him. Instead, looks the other way, plays it forward, looking for the run of Fletcher, who's onside to the byline, stands up across, and it's Blair at the far post who manages to hack it clear. Greenslade helps it back into the area, although more across. Loose ball comes to Hayfield, out to Greenslade, 25 yards out, into Spokes. Trying to find room maybe for a shot, still Spokes. Blocked by Altintop, and with that, the referee blows the half-time whistle here at Interval at Twerton Park. It's Bath City 0, Braintree Town 1, Levi and Manchie's 20th minute goal separating the sides. But since then, Andrew, it's been somewhat one-way traffic with Bath City trying to find a leveller through the blue wall. As Luke Spokes stands over the ball in the centre circle and does get the game back underway. Rains on the halfway line. We'll go through the two sides when we get a break. No changes for either at the interval though. As Regis, Matthews and Blair playing behind Amanci. And I got through all that in the time it took Jack Sims to take his goal kick, Andrew.
Yeah, I think he's speeded up, hasn't he? I mean, you could probably have gone through our team and several others.
As now it's Wilson looking to come forward, tries to shoot early. It's blocked by White. Payne's pass is loose, out for a Bath City throw. Plenty of players in the Braintree half. Parcell's pass is loose though, and now Regis can look for the counter-attack, what we were talking about, although the Bath City skipper does really well to get back at him. Now Hayfield, now maybe a chance for Bath City to break. Out to Fletcher on the right. Crosses it in, it's deep, and it's actually forced Sims to tip it over for a corner kick, because it might have been dropping under his crossbar. Lines takes it short to Greenslade. Back to Lines. Chips in across, it's helped on its way by Payne inadvertently. Now with Dyer inside the area, volleys it back in. Cook rides in, the offside flag is up against the striker, although his header dropped over anyway.
Well, City can't grumble about the amount of possession they've had. Braintree almost keen to give it to them.
Lines the ball over the top, Wilson chasing after it. Does well to keep it in, hooks it back. White is able to head it as far as Hayfield. The shot is blocked by Altintop, out for a Bath City throw. Roman pressure starting to grow. Greenslade gets on with it quickly, back to Parcell. Thinks about crossing from deep, instead square to Spokes. Now on to Lines. Going to go for a long-range strike. It's a good hit, and it's narrowly wide of the upright.
He got real power on that. The ball almost looking to accelerate as it went past the keeper. Only just wide of that far post.
Bath City have it on the opposite side, with Lines on the halfway line, as Willie Clemens is stripped and ready down below us. Ball over the top by Lines. It's going to be kept in by Hayfield. Hooks a cross in really deep to the far post. Cook nods it back across goal. Regis half clears. And Matthews back there really deep. Will volley upfield once again. And Manchie with no other blue shirt within 30 yards of him.
Crowd getting frustrated, but Parcell can't just punt the ball forward and wait for it to come back. You've got to look for the man making the run, which is now happening on the right-hand side.
Now with Fletcher on the right, forward into Cook. The flag stays down. There's an important foot in by White. Now to Hayfield. Looks to clip a ball in behind. Fletcher will get there. Tries to drag it across goal. Blair does fantastically well, the left winger, to backtrap. Even stops to get out for a corner, but then he overruns it, gives it back to Rains. Does get a foot in though to put it behind for a corner kick.
Yep, City battling away over on that right-hand side.
Lines drives it in, headed away by White. So hooked further forward by Matthews, who's caught reins on his follow-through, but Bath City have it, can play on. Ball forward for Spokes. Still with Spokes inside the area, tries to jink inside, but runs into traffic, and it's put behind for another corner by Muscat. Lines with another corner kick. Flat again, it's headed goalwards, and it's headed in! Bath City back on level terms. Andrew said they needed a goal, they've got it. It's Alex Fletcher with it, his first of the season. And just 10 minutes into the second half, it's Bath City 1, Braintree Town 1.
Hard for a moment to see exactly where that went through such a crowded area, but Fletcher just getting a flick on it, and clearly Sims not able to follow the ball through, and that brings it back to the scores level, but with the momentum still very much with Bath City.
Alex Fletcher loves playing at Twerton Park. Bath City's golden boot last season, most of his goals come in right here. And he's up and running on home grass for the new campaign. I guess now the question is, Andrew, Braintree Town's tactics change or not?
Very much so. They've got to press forward, haven't they? If they just try and sit back, there is still so much of this half to go. It's inviting trouble. And I think they are pressing further forward already. There's 4 or 5 players in the Bath City half of the field. Ball forward.
Cook's in behind here. Cook tries to lob the keeper. It's in! It's superbly taken by Cody Cook. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Bath City. They've completely turned this game on its head. The 2 strikers are on the score sheet, and the Romans are suddenly in front.
Well, Braintree could have said maybe we should have sat back, because suddenly they were left exposed at the back. And you really don't want to give Cody Cook those kind of opportunities. One touch on the ball, seeing the keeper off his line, bang in the back of the net. City lead 2-1.
Now it's just a long punt forward. Suddenly Cook was in behind the defence, but he still had so much to do with the low finish from 20 yards. Absolutely superbly taken by the Bath City number 9.
And suddenly a buzz around Twerton Park, that stalemate of the first half forgotten. And, well, now Braintree really will have to change their tactics.
Rains with it on the right. Forward to Cook. There's a buzz about the Romans now. Rains into the area. Still with Rains. Still going. Comes back to Spokes, who completely miscues it from 20 yards. Although, having said that, does take a deflection. Out for Bath City corner. 2 goals in the space of 2 second-half minutes have completely changed the complexion of this game as lines go short to Spokes on this occasion. Now to Hayfield, 20 yards out, tries to bend it, and Sims shuffles it wide of the upright.
I thought Sims had that covered. He came across to his left-hand post.
Lines to take the corner once again. Fletcher goes short, he uses him. Nice little back heel to Lines, stands up across. It's headway by Clemens as far as Hayfield. Match is blocked, and then Clemens can look to come away. Does well, forward for Blair. Greenslade is there, snapping at his heels to put it out for a Braintree Town throw. Managed to retrieve it. Then plays it inside to Muscat, but Lines gets a foot in. Here's Cook. He's gone for the audacious here, Cook, and it's only about a yard over the crossbar.
You cheeky boy.
Like 10 yards inside the Braintree half, saw Sims off his line, and if it was on target, I think the Braintree keeper might have been struggling, actually. Matthews goes short, though, to Muscat. Digs it out across. It's headed away by Dyer. Back to Matthews. Drives in across. All the way to the far side. Elton top heads it back across goal, and Clements got there first and couldn't direct his header on target.
No, it almost came down on the top of his head. Couldn't really get any downward force on it.
And then it's back to Greenslade, just inside his own half. Now Wilson. Plays it over the top, looking for the run of Cook, and the offside flag eventually goes up. That was a very, very tight one as he tried to arc his run there. City trailed to Farnborough on Saturday for that home game at Slough on Monday as Fletcher chasing after ball over the top. Farrell is alert. And tries to see it behind for a goal kick. He can't, but he does manage to escape Fletcher and will be able to bring it forward.
Fletcher's like a player with a Duracell battery that never runs out.
Now a Manchi driving forward. Manu put Braintree ahead in the first half. Feels like an awfully long time ago now. Back to Muscat, back out to Payne. Clips one over the top. Blair has made a good run. He's onside in the area, and Dyer backtracking, managed to get a foot in to put it behind for a corner kick. Drives it in. It is headed goalwards, but it's headed over via a deflection. It'll be another corner kick. One of the summer arrivals. This one's deeper towards the far post. Cook is climbing and flicks off his head almost behind him, and Muscat can just fire it upfield. Blair does well to keep it in. He's rather isolated at the moment. He does have two over there if he can get rid of the ball quickly. He's trying to twist away from Rains, who's done well to hold him up, then pulls him back. There's going to be a free kick to Braintree Town. Joe Rains complains, but he can have no complaints because he had his arm wrapped round Aaron Blair's wrist. As Farrell bent in to flex off Wilson, who most certainly encroached, but doesn't matter. It's back with Farrell now. Chance to maybe deliver again. Chips in towards the far post. The acrobatic effort. It's a good save by Wright to turn it round the post. It was a stunning effort by Muscat with the bicycle kick, and Wright had to be alert to turn it round for a corner kick.
Yeah, you feel Wright must have seen that rather late. Great dive down to his right-hand side and just getting both hands on it and able to push it round the post.
Kieran Farrell standing over the free kick. 35 yards out, wide left, one-man Bath City wall. Farrell drives it in. It's a good delivery, and it's headed over by Clements, and that was a decent opportunity for the substitute.
And Clements knows that. Head straight away into hands.
2 minutes of Braintree Town to do something about that, though, as Wright goes long. Cook flicks it on, Fletcher's in behind her. Fletcher maybe to seal it, goes down. It's going to be a penalty. Alex Fletcher in behind, brought down by Kieran Farrell, and Bath City do have a chance in stoppage time to put this game beyond all doubt. And it is a penalty in stoppage time for Bath City. Cody Cook, who scored one last Saturday. Chance to wrap up this match. Cook steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way into the bottom corner. 3 goals and 3 points for Bath City, and then number 9 has his second of the afternoon.
Well, it was late down at Eastbourne, late today, but City have secured all 3 points here very clearly this afternoon. And as the City players go over to celebrate, the Braintree players disconsolately walk back up the pitch. And City very comfortable. It might be that Braintree won 3-1 in the week against Hemel Hempstead, but they've had the tables turned on them this afternoon. City are now about to make that substitution that we talked about a little bit earlier. And it's going to be, as we anticipated, Tom Smith coming on.
Late run out for Tom Smith. Luke Spokes is going to be the man who makes way. Decides to take the free kick short. Over to Farrell, and with that the referee blows the full-time whistle. Finishes here at Twerton Park. Bath City 3, Braintree Town 1. Levi Amanchi had given the Iron first half lead, but 3 unanswered second half goals for Bath City, courtesy of Alex Fletcher, and a Cody Cook double, the second coming from the penalty spot in stoppage time, gives the Romans all 3 points. Andrew, 7 points in 3 games drawn this week, as we said. It's a good afternoon, but it's been a great week for Bath City.
It certainly has, and you get the feeling once they came out for that second period and put down their mark that they were going to press forward, that there was a certain inevitability about that result this afternoon. I have to admit that spell in the first half when Braintree just crowded their area, we both of us find that somewhat depressing and somewhat difficult to commentate on, because we kept repeating ourselves as a succession of throw-ins and corners all seemed to go the same way. For City fans, well, it'll be a cracking start to the season. OK, they lost to Dartford home here, but that was only really a 5-minute spell where they did badly, and since then, things definitely looking up.
Looking ahead to next week, though, for Bath City, we've obviously touched on it, but they travel to Farnborough on Saturday, host Slough Town here on Monday. They'll be looking to kick on and pick up quite a few points from those 2 games, do you think?
Well, Farnborough's a difficult commodity because, of course, they're a fairly different team from last year. They've recruited very heavily, spent a day there, always keen to splash the cash when the circumstances arise. So they're a very much modified outfit from last year, and I suspect Jerry Gill will have had them watch, but nobody really knows that much about them coming into this season. So that would be an interesting challenge away. Slough, of course, the reverse. We played against Slough many, many times here at Twerton Park. They're always a side keen to move the ball around, a quick passing side. They had a good win this afternoon. So, you know, I expect that to be a really good contest, and I'd really urge folk to get down here on Bank Holiday Monday.
That's it from Andrew and myself this afternoon. So thank you very much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed our company as Bath City came from behind to win 3-1 against Braintree Town. Alex Fletcher and a Cody Cook brace in the second half, giving the Romans all 3 points. We hope you do tune in to Bath City Radio again soon, but until then, enjoy the rest of your week.
We hope our guests enjoyed their day.